As the title suggests, my day started out before dawn trying to get the first bus to see the sights before everything gets crowded. Yesterday I didn't do much, just had my conference. The only real thing of note I did was go to the Pokemon store, get an exclusive Pikachu and a kimono plush. I didn't think I'd be an exclusive plush collector, but here I am. Anyway, back to this cool shot of the sunrise. Isn't that pretty? Kyoto uses a lot of buses. They're actually really convenient and kind of suck, but I gotta take them. Here is my first stop. Here's the long road traveling up to get to Kiyomizu-dera, which is one of the most famous shrines in Kyoto, one of the most famous places in all of Japan. It's actually really cool. This doesn't do the scale justice. This is the famous deck with a great view overlooking Kyoto. Here's another close-up shot. It's also popped up in a lot of anime, but I swear that's not why I went to see it. Here is me on the deck. It's actually pretty sparsely populated. This gets really, really crowded later in the day, but pretty empty-ish for 6 in the morning. Here's a nice wide shot, the real postcard shot. Also, I love the shot I got of the pagoda with like the sunrise hitting it. I thought it was real cool. Here's the shot from the ground level up towards the deck. Kind of just gives a better idea of the scale and how huge it is. Also, cherry blossoms around it when they're in focus. And I thought that was really cool. Got to see some cherry blossoms on this trip. I also just really love this shot of the sun behind like that first big temple. It's in the intro. It'll be in the outro. I just think it's really cool. Next up, we see these foxes in the station. The station's by the Fushimi Inari Shrine. This shrine's probably even more famous in Kiyomizu-dera. It also appears in literally every anime field trip that goes to Kyoto. It's famous for these giant red torii gates. These are the intro gates. These aren't even the really kind of like super famous ones. These are the super famous ones. They're all closely packed and much shorter, and you just feel like you're going through a big red tunnel. This tunnel actually leads to like a small shrine area. Here it is. You can buy stuff. Like one of the things I bought is a prayer card that you can draw a fox face on. They're pretty cool. This one's mine with the bug eyes. I just wanted to draw some big round eyes. The trail's actually like really long. It's like a 3.5 hour hike up a mountain. I did not want to do that, so I kind of turned around and went by real fast. Also, these names are like the names of companies that sponsor these torii gates, and it's like $10,000 a year to sponsor a torii gate. Also, you can see here getting pretty crowded at 7:30 in the morning. Big tourist crush here in Kyoto. Next stop was Arashiyama, and you can see on the mountain like the individual like cherry blossom trees is kind of speckling like the landscape. I thought that was really cool. Also, if we zoom out and go over a little bit, we'll see the big tourist crush is here as well. Sunday during cherry blossom season. Who'd have guessed a ton of tourists? I love the shot down the path. Also tons of cherry blossoms. These were like some of the more picturesque ones I saw yesterday. More cherry blossoms on the mountain. Zoom out a little bit and it's the Arashiyama Bridge. Pan over a little bit more, you see a bunch of cherry trees along the riverbank. Really picturesque. Not gonna lie, I came here to go to the Arashiyama Monkey Park, but it was like a 30-minute climb up mountain to see the monkeys, so I decided not to do it. Also, it was just overwhelmingly touristy, so I decided I needed to get out of the super touristy places and find a new attraction, like coming here to a different, slightly quieter part of Kyoto. There's a lot more like road traffic, but the sidewalks are pretty quiet. And the reason I came here was to come to this street specifically for these. This is Yokai Street, where the town has a bunch of like yokai statues outside their businesses. Unfortunately, because it was Sunday, they were most of the businesses were closed. So we really only got these two. That first one and this one that I don't even know what it was. But around town you see some more like yokai kind of stuff in the windows and kind of more permanent fixtures. This is like a thing where you can take your picture with it, but it's behind a fence, so you really can swing by and get your picture with it. But I next decided to move on to another even less touristy spot, and I also love the mountains in the background as the town zooms by. I always thought it had a really cool aesthetic. But I came here to see this. This is the Kyoto Animation building. Kyoto Animation does a lot of really high quality anime. I actually stopped by the Kyoani store in Kyoto Station, like when I first got here. They didn't like to take a lot of video, so I just got this kind of picture in that video from outside. Speaking of iconic field trip spots in anime, they come to visit this studio in Lucky Star, so I just kind of had to do it. Also, you see the posters for Sound Euphonium, which is a new show. And you might be wondering, did you just come all this way for a building? No, I came all this way for 2 buildings, because this is the other Kyoto Animation building. They have all the offices on the 3rd floor, one on the 2nd floor. Here you can see kind of how it's breakdown. I also went to the 7-Eleven next door, where they probably go get their coffee and stuff. Also, that show, Sound Euphonium, premiered last night while I was in Kyoto, so I got to watch it while I was still in Kyoto, which was a fun little touch. Also, returning to the station, I saw this, you can barely see it because it's far away, this Hello Kitty train. Also stopped by the Jump store, not to get anything, but just look at these cool cutouts of Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia. Also, there's this fun penguin statue that looks like they're all pointing in different directions, which is how I feel Google Maps communicates with me. Also, there was this weird poster for Quebec City tourism. This is in the Yokai Street, but I forgot to put it in that section. Also wanted to give a quick tour of my hostel. They also had the Teratera Bozu rain charm while I left this morning. But it's just very cool with some like art. The buildings, the rooms had some really cool like checker aesthetics. There's a fun balcony there. Also, I love their mascot. And it's on everything, including the key ring, all the signage. I actually got one of those key rings. Here it is saying like, hey, don't slam the door. My favorite were the ones in the bathroom, like the shampoo shower, but especially the body wash, where it's given itself a little lather. I forgot to record an outro while I was in Kyoto, so enjoy this final shot, and I'll see everybody tomorrow from Osaka, where I am editing this. Bye, everybody.